If you took the Sony TR-623 transistor radio, turned it sideways, added a shortwave band, another transistor, and still another kind of battery door, you'd have the TR-724. Yes, this brilliant observation occurred to me one day while looking at both of these models side by side. This one, the TR-724, plays the AM band and also has a shortwave band. With shortwave, it helps to have a fine tuning knob, and there's one of those here, too, on the side. A two-band radio is also going to have a band switch control of some kind, too. And the one on this radio is rather unique in appearance and placement on the top of the back. And there's a mount on the bottom of the back for attaching an antenna rod for pulling in those shortwave stations. In my discussion of that TR-623 in another video, I talked about battery configurations and battery clips and battery compartments and latches and doors. Here on the 724, we have still another example of Sony's ever-widening search for a foolproof battery-changing process. And here's the fool right now trying to open it. Ah, success. This one gives the distinct impression, though, that I'd better not open it too far or I will be hearing an unwelcome cracking sound. And how far is too far? That they don't tell you. You'll know it when you crack it. Sony made an earlier two-band short-pocket transistor radio in 1959, the TR-714 model. And for that model, I am, of course, stretching the definition of the words shirt pocket, just as Sony did back in the day. The TR-724 we are looking at today, from 1960, is more of a real shirt pocket radio, as it is significantly slimmer. And this slim and stylish radio exemplifies how much Sony was at the time, coming into its own as a world-class leader in product design. Sony's first television set appeared that same year, 1960, and it too was an impressive design achievement, inside and out. There was no doubt about it. In 1960, Sony was on a roll. Ask any 1950s American what they thought about a product described with the three words, "Made in Japan," and more than half of the time you'd get a response that was negative. Words like cheap and junk and breaks easily would be used. This opinion was no doubt skewed by lingering war resentment, and also by the fact that most things marked Made in Japan that Americans saw in those days were either delicate things or, more commonly, toys. Inexpensive toys of the sort you'd find in what we used to call a dime store, a Woolworth's or a Kresge's. These toys were mostly made of plastic, quite thin plastic, and yes, they were cheap. Over the years, these attitudes changed, mostly because imports to America from Japan were increasingly of bigger-ticket items. By the 1970s, Japanese cars were commonly seen on American roads, and a host of other higher-end Japanese products got the respect they deserved, from cameras to pianos. You'd see names like Hitachi on heavy equipment at construction sites. And where does Sony fit into all this? Well, these days most people don't realize it, but Sony in those days was a much younger company than most of these other Japanese outfits I'm talking about. And these companies were, at the time, much bigger than Sony as well. But of all Japanese companies struggling to win over the American market, none did more to change the public mind about those three little words than Sony.